Hello. Good evening. This is going to be a mess. I'm exhausted. I hope you're doing well. We're going to be doing part one and two, or episode one and two of Samurai Champloo tonight. It's a late start. My little one, she had a late nap. I was actually considering not doing this, but somebody has blown me up. Um, I want it's dubbed, so we listened to it. No, we actually listened to it in English. Actually, I'm sorry. So yeah, so episode one and two of Samurai Champloo. Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. Some witty humor. A lot of violence. So go back. I will. Bye. See you later. Mm. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I made a little slideshow because I'm a nerd. To show the characters like you don't know them already, but oh well. Okay. Yeah, so the intro starts off with the two guys, Jin and Mugen being about to be killed, right? And then, back pages a day and you see what happens to lead up to that, right? So you start at a tea house, little tea house, and you meet Fu. Sweet little Fu. Now, she's nice, she's good, she's not like deceptive or cunning, but she is smart. She does have a little bit of a smarts to her. So I find her kind of humorous, but a little bit annoying. So yeah, so Fu is there at the tea house. Um, for some reason I thought those were her parents, but they're not. Duh, Brittany. So, and you have a group of ragtags that are getting a little bit handsy. You could say there was some personal fouls going on. So yeah, they have like this new sword, and they're like, "Oh, I want to use it." They're like brats that always get their way. So it turns out that they don't this episode. Come to find out, so skips also to Jin. So Jin, he's like in this crowd of people, and there's this construction worker, and he's begging the governor, like, please don't take away my job, blah 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 blah. And Jin just, he's just like calm and thinking about it. And he's like, this is gonna go nowhere. He's gonna beg, and there's gonna be violence, so I might as well just step in. So Jin steps in and he kills the bodyguards, and I think the ends up walking away. I forgot that second. Anyways, we go back to the tea house, and our girl is trying to serve dumplings, right? And Mugen comes in. He's all amped and ready to go for no apparent reason at all. I think he felt a disturbance in the force, and he knew he wanted to fight. So he went into the tea house. He's like, I'll get rid of all of these people for you for 50 dumplings. She's like, no, 12 or 20 or something. He's like, I won't go one lower. Anyways, yeah, these jerks um are all ballsy and stuff, and she drops things in this brat's lap. It turns out he's the governor's son. So it's hand in hand. These two guys are doing shit to the same family. One's the governor, one's the governor's son. And she ends up having to say, I'll give you 100 dumplings, like, just help me, whatnot. I was like, oh, yeah. So he's like, don't you know who we are? He's like, I don't care. It don't matter to me. He ends up slicing one guy's arm off. That was pretty intense. and they battle. And let's see what happens after that. Oh, and the fire starts, right? Oh, wait, I skipped something. So Jin comes in. He's like, I see you got your hands full. He's like, oh, you one of them too? Mugen is just like too chaotic. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead to Mugen. So he's chaotic. He just can't, he's all amped up for nothing. Just, just wants to fight. So he wants to fight Jin. He sees him as a valuable equal to beat, to put on his roster. So, yeah, so they start fighting, and then like he has an image of Jin in the like hot tub, and he's woken up by the governor's son, and the governor's like, "You killed my child." Um, yeah, yeah, I felt like I knew his voice from somewhere. I've watched Cowboy Bebop. I watched the movie Cowboy Bebop, uh, where the guy puts like mm, a disease in the air. Yeah, so that was crazy. Yeah, it's the movie. Okay, anyways, back to that. Yeah, so he's like, "Oh my gosh, you killed my son. You guys are gonna die, blah blah blah." And our girl, our girl here, Fu, she wants out. She's like, "I just want to get out of this hellhole that I'm in." So she finds out where they're being kept and being tortured, and these guys don't break. They just doesn't matter what they're getting tortured. But he's like, "So it was a dream being in a fire of you being in the bathtub?" He's like, "No, that was definitely a dream." Um, and so she finds out that they're being kept there, and she knows they're skilled samurai swordsmen. And so she's like, "I'll get you free if you help me find the man that smells like sunflowers." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Um, but she can't break them free. And you get my favorite character appears. 'Cause she's like, "I'll do anything." He's like, "Oh," the guard. He's like, "Oh, anything, really?" And then our little Momo shows up and gets in the way, and she beats the guard down to get away. All that stuff, steals key. But she can't break them free in time, so she comes up with a different plan. And it's so funny because she finds out they're about to be executed. And you see her running through the town, and you're like, no, I don't think those are real. Um, and that's this slide right here is eventually she throws, uh, where she reveals her assets. Fireworks. Mugen snapping the dude's fingers. Yeah, that was intense. He's like, I'll just do them all at the same time. Yeah, yeah, it was pretty, yeah, intense. Some good jokes. There's some funny moments. I can't remember all of the jokes because I have bad memory, but um, yeah. So, yay, Momo! Momo comes to the rescue, and that is the end of episode 1. And then, so they're on the run, and there's a coin toss at the end of the episode. And it was so funny because she's like, I'll flip it. And Mugen gets, um, impatient, right? So he flips it so high and she's like, I don't think that's coming back. And Jin's like, um, yeah, he always is a little bit too, uh, amped up or chaotic for his own good. And so, um, it eventually comes back and it falls in our face. And it's the deal of you help me find the sunflower man. That's the main goal. of Fu is she's trying to get these guys together. I think she wants them to join forces since they're so strong and instead of fighting. And but she also wants to find what she's saying is the sunflower man, the man that smells like sunflowers. So, episode 1 done. Um, they're actually not very too long on the runtime. So, in future videos, I will actually do 3 parts, 3 episodes, and that will actually help me narrow down how many live streams I have to do for it. So, yes, to find the man that smells like sunflowers. And they are pretty badass, I will tell you. Um, Jin he'll kill, but that's not like his main motive. But Mugen is all about just, he don't care. He don't care about life. So, yeah. I'm trying to figure out which of the 2 baddies, well, not really baddies, but which of the 2 guys I like. You know, the nose picker or the ripped kimono. So, yeah, I know it's very, animes back then were short and sweet. They were to the point. Like my favorite anime hands down is Trigun. And that is only one yeah, there's only one season of that. And I wish they would have done another, but it's perfect as it is, you know. I even watched the movie that they made, Trigun Badlands. That was like kind of like an add-on, you know. So, Johnny Bosch, yeah, I love that voice actor. He's my favorite, and it's for Love and Peace. So I have that. I still have the box DVD of that. I should review that. So we will get into episode 2. Episode 2 starts off where they're like destitute. They got nothing except for what they have on their back. And Fu's like, oh my God, I got 5 dumplings. How are we going to share between the 3 of us? You know? And this bird comes up and steals their food. And they're like, oh shit. So, let's see. Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist is good. I've watched parts of that. That's the 2 brothers. And one died, and so the other one is he's in a metal suit. And they do alchemy, of course. And he's trying to bring his brother back to life. Yeah, that's really sweet. didn't ever finish it, but I saw parts of it. And then they're there, and these guys are talking about, I'm going to get to my favorite part of this episode soon. The guys are talking about this ogre that's killing everybody, consuming them, yada, yada, yada. And that nobody who goes against him lives. And, you know, Mugen hears that. He's like, huh, a challenge? You don't know my name. And he eats their dumplings. And they're like, hey, dude, whatever. Why'd you eat my dumplings? And he slices the chopstick down, not in half, but just like you would, if you would to put an arrow right through another arrow, just right down the line. And so he's like, huh, challenge accepted. And Jin's like, you're a fool. You know, he even said, like, your technique is so chaotic. It's just so wild and random. You just leave yourself open. So he's already diagnosed, like, a little bit about how Mugen fights, but not too much. Um, anyways, so yeah, they find out that there's this little spot. The guy that owns that tea house, he's like, there's a place that's unoccupied you can go to, blah blah blah, and you can have it there, and then you can leave and travel. And Jen's like, this sounds a little suspicious, don't you? Mugen didn't care, and our girl Fu like took like this huge shot, just passed out. So she's not even in this situation, but somehow gets involved. So she's passed out. They have to put her somewhere. And so they go up to this uh, old little shed and put her in there. But before, there's this woman that walks up and she's trying to be stealthy, but like swaying and has no shoes on, just being a little bit deceptive, right? And so, she don't even have a name that I'm aware of. Anyways, it's like, hey, how's it going? Just trying to be seductive. And so Mugen falls for it. He goes and wanders off with her, and Jin's like, I need a bath, right? So he runs to the little hot springs down the way. I don't have no accents. I only have one. Mine. Vietnamese. Ching chong bing bong. So, anyways, he's going to the hot springs, and Mugen's going over to this dame, Trouble, and she's just laying it on, just on him, like, here's some alcohol, here's my boobs, like, let's go. He's like, man, you are working fast. She's like, well, a night's, not young, and uh, I don't want to play games, right? And so, and then it goes and cuts to Jin, and this is kind of like my favorite part of the episode is what happens with Jin. So he's there, and this guy, another guy, gets in there naked. He's an older guy, and he's talking to him, and he's saying weird things like, two men, two men here, having a good time. It's so dumb. Jen gets weird out. He's like, I don't know about that. I'm gonna go. He's like, but what about the girl you're with? And rewind, the guy that had his arm cut off, right? He had his arm cut off. Somehow he's the one who set fire to the tea house but survived, right? And he has the ogre, the guy, with him that beats up and kills anybody that seems intimidated by him. He's got PTSD. This guy, he's big and deformed, and he was tortured, and so he thinks he's ugly, doesn't want anybody to look at him. So they take Fu, right? And then Fu is so sweet. She's like, I don't see that. And, she shows him Firefly and looks at him. She's like, I'm not scared by you. And somehow that makes a connection with this guy. And so, so Jin finds out that she's taken. And then Mugen, he's getting macked on. And he finds out he's been poisoned by a one-night mushroom, where he's only got one night to live. Yeah, he is a better weeb than me. I'm an imposter weeb. He is more weeby. So, Mugen finds out, and then she makes a comment about how the antidote is with the guy, and he also has Fu. So, go back. So you need to go back and find out what's going on, right? Anyways, Jin's walking with the guy, and he's like, yeah, just a little bit further. And he's like, oh, forgot to mention I'm an assassin, right? Jin's like, I figured something was going on. And so they fight, and this assassin is getting like all excited. And he's like, this is the best fight I've ever had in a long time. Like, this is different than the dojo. And oh, your swordsman skill. Like, he's just getting off. And he's like, I got to kill you anyways. Kind of thing. But he's relishing in it. So they're having a fight in the bamboo, which reminds me of Ninja Scroll. And a couple other things like Flying Dragon. Oh God, that's that movie. Anyways, it's bamboo and fights are always in animes. So they're fighting and doing their battle, and then Mugen comes up to the crazy guy with Ogre. He's like, ha ha ha, you got poison, blah blah blah. Just, I don't even know why you're showing him the antidote. Like, you don't even want to give it to him. You want to kill him. So just plot hole there. He's just trying to like throw anything out to make Mugen come. And Mugen's getting his butt beat to Ogre because Ogre is just like brute strength, you know. And what happens is he armless guy really ruined it for himself. Really ruined it because he turned around and he's like, I'm gonna kill you, Fu. Like, you're worthless to me. And he starts to try to strangle her, and then Ogre comes and he's like, that's my girl. She's not scared of me. I want to protect her. So he kills her. And then he goes to try to kill Mugen, and she's like, no, don't. And he ends up taking the sword. I'm ruining it for anybody who watches Samurai Champloo, but whatever. This has been out for a long time. Samurai Champloo has been out since the 2000s. I think it's 2004. Yes, 2004. So if you have not seen it, I am sorry. Like me, I have not seen this, so I'm growing as well. And so Ogre dies, and he touches a firefly before he dies, and he says, I'm not as scared for you to look at me. You're the only one who cared, kind of thing. And then it cuts back to Jin, and the assassin looks over. He's like, oh, well, what a weird turn of events. What a sad turn of events here. I like the assassin. He's pretty funny. He's like, well, it looks like the man who was paying me to kill you died. So I really don't want to kill you because I'm not going to get paid for it. So he's like, well, we are going to meet again. Guarantee that. So he walks off, and then let's see what happens here. This is the part I kind of forget. Yeah, so he walks off. Da, 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 da. So Fu, Mugen, and Jin get together. I think Mugen takes the antidote. This is when my son ran into the room, so I got distracted here. So they're off to complete Fu's quest. Just a little bit of a sideline there of her getting kidnapped and Mugen getting poisoned, and so yeah, that is episode 2 of Samurai Champloo. So in the next part, I will do 3, 4, and 5. Go over it like the way I did now. Like the way I did now. Oh, 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 oh. No, don't want that. Yeah, so that is it. That is it. Samurai Champloo. I like the intro beat to it. It's a hip hop kind of rap. Very reminiscent of like almost like Boondock Saints. If you guys remember Boondock Saints. Let's see here. I'll probably get copyrighted for this, but it don't matter to me. Most of my streams get copyrighted anyways. There we go. So we'll remove that. Ah, no. I'm so unkempt. Everything is a mess. Let's see. Here's the intro. I'll get copyrighted too. But I really like this type of beat. Hip hop. I like how he's got the rooster. He's cocky. And Jin's like the sea. That's pretty cool. Very good comparison. Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to my new review of, well, not even a review, but just a recount of Samurai Champloo. We'll be back next week. Like I said, we're the last 3 weeks of the month are going to be the reviews, and then the first week of the month is my chill and chat. Next chill and chat, I'm going to talk about a story I wrote. Battle Cry. Do the dance. Watanabe. Yeah. There we go. All right, y'all. Well, hope you guys have a great week. Yeah. And I will see you next time. Bye.